Hey, what's up guys, welcome to the video, and today we're going to be talking about Noel, and Serah from Final Fantasy 13-2. So, they got some buffs, they got some interesting stuff going on with them, and were they enough? We'll find out. Make sure to like the video if you like these kind of reviews. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, make sure you guys like these reviews if you like this kind of setup. I put a lot of effort into this. Trust me. And anyways, moving on. Restimar got slightly nerfed for her, basically, but otherwise still a very strong STMR in general. 60% magic, 20% magic with a bow. It was 40% on the JB side, and 100% magic, 100% magic TH, which was 75% on the JB side. So I mean, it's better later, but it's not as good now because for her. But on the flip side, she did get 20% more magic in her kit, so it kind of balances out, I guess, the nerf. So you got a lot of higher modifier buffs with global change. A lot of things were changed to be a lot higher than they were before. That's always a good thing. When you try to pull for a unit that got buffed, it's always a good thing. So that being said, she has Earth, Wind, and Light chaining, and that's a very good selection for Dark Vision. She has 3 different options which she can go to, and Earth and Wind are very good elements that are unique, and not very many units have that. So that's also a very good option for someone who doesn't have very many units in that category. I know a lot of people were struggling with the Earth category like I was, so it'd be a very good pickup if you are focused on Dark Vision's content and you don't have very many Earth chainers. Now is the time to go for it. And sorry for the sniffling. And triple cast at the start of battle, so now she's able to do everything that's on that turn 1 down that rotation, which is very useful. If you only had dual cast, it'd be very slow. You just have to use both cooldowns, and now you're at low HP without being able to heal back up. And she's very similar to Xyrus, the 5-star version, where she doesn't need to be low HP. Well, she does for the activate of the passive, but other than that, she can go back up to full HP again. That's why you want to use Cheer in that turn 1, because it's just like Xyrus, where the limit burst upgrade activates for 2 turns, so you can use her limit burst on the next turn while having full HP, as long as you had that low HP at the beginning to activate it. So she's just a very good damage dealer, but there are some flaws, of course. The biggest one, of course, that problem with that Earth chaining, Snort, Typhoon. Unfortunately, since it cost 10 Esper Gauge, it cost the entire gauge, so they didn't fix it, they didn't cut it in half, they didn't remove the cast entirely. Unfortunately, only one of them will be able to use it at a time, which is just it's really rough. It really hurts her rotation, and they didn't fix her. I don't know what to say. It was the biggest flaw in her kit, and they didn't even bother. Just give her bigger modifiers. Who cares about anything else, right? Who cares? So unfortunately, she's just gonna have an awkward rotation a lot of the time after turn 3, because now the other unit has to catch up to your unit, or your unit has to catch up to the friend unit. See how that goes? So unfortunately, the max potential will never happen because of the Snort casting 10 Esper Gauge. So, and she is also TDH focused and not True Duo focused, so she's much more squishy than you would think other mages would be. She still has, I think she still has decent stats, but still is gonna be squish. And she's just, at the end of the day, just another mage with a unique kit, but otherwise just another mage. And we're gonna be getting a whole lot of them in the next few months. So as nice as Serah is and everything, it's just like just another mage. I mean, if you have Tetrasilphide Fistless or 4 Winds Fistless, I think you're good. I think you're good without this. If you're low on Earth mages for Dark Visions, of course she's very good. If you're low on Wind mages for Dark Visions, of course she's really good. If you don't have very many light damage dealer for Dark Visions, although there are a lot of light-based chaining mages currently in the game. But yeah, so she has three good options. So in terms of normal meta, B plus. The snort mechanic really held it back. If they fixed her snort mechanic, they removed it entirely, or it only cost 5 or something like that, she would have been an A to A plus easily. But unfortunately, the snort holds her back in terms of being better. And for dark visions, you can probably just ignore the entire. I mean, obviously, the snort mechanic is not nearly as bad because you're using it, not the friend. So I think she gets an A in dark visions just because of the selection she has and all that kind of good stuff. So with that being said, let's move on to Noel. Alright, so here we are with Noel. Very good STMR. When I use all the time on the JP side, because it has 80% attack. Machine and Dragon Killers, oh, I forgot to put 75%, whoops. It does have 75%, so let's clear that up right now. Let's get that right. So 75% killers on that. And his global change, just like Serah, just a bunch of mod changes, a lot of higher mod buffs, but the integral part of his kit is still the same, where he's the strongest burst unit in terms of physical DPS in the whole game so far on global, on turn 4. The rest of his turns are just kind of much more mellowed out and average, but that's still good. He was already really strong on the JP side, and I already showcased that several times in my videos, and now he's even stronger, and he's still free-to-play friendly. He has a weapon as his TMR, which is decent, but you kind of want the STMR, as you can see there. His TMR kind of holds him back from being able to do ice, since dual elementing is not that good. And he has true to wield, he has 150% true to wield, he has a lot of machine and dragon killer with also buffs to that as well. So it's very easy to get him to 300% machine killer innately, among dragon killer as well. Obviously you wouldn't focus on both at the same time, unless you're fighting a dragon machine, which would be very interesting, I would have to say. So his damage is just as far more normal in the cons there. It's far more normal, but it's still strong and is on turn 4 of course he's the best thing in the world right now. But in all those other turns he's just kind of average, and I have not really found a way to use this limit burst maybe on turn 5. Turn 5 maybe uses limit burst, but other than that I don't know if you should even focus on the limit burst. I think you should just focus on these 4 turns here. I think is the best thing. I think turn 5 may be limit burst though. I think that's like the only time, because it's just like Cottage, his rotation is very, very strict. You can't really go outside of it that much because now you're going to lose damage. So that probably is the biggest thing for Noel. You have to keep in mind with that situation. So overall, I think that Noel was strong. He is strong. He has Ice Imbue. He has Ice Imperials, of course. He has, a lot of things where killers buffs if you need them, but his cooldown kind of provides that already. But in case you died and came back, all that kind of stuff. So, what can I grade him? I would definitely say an A+ for normal meta, and for dark visions, he is an AMOE chainer, if I remember correctly. So that's definitely an A to A+ as well, because now he can join someone else. He doesn't have to use, if you have his STMR, of course you need his STMR. If you're able to get that STMR, you can just use him for any element, depending on what weapon you have. He could be any element, since his Octothrust and also Ultimate Javelin are his non-elemental chaining abilities. So that helps out with dark visions as well. That's kind of a thing you guys need to focus on. For any of your chainers who have non-elemental attacks, you can just equip an elemental weapon for that situation. Just like with my dark Tetrasulfide video, I had Earth Weapon on my Edward, and also my Cloud. Yes, they can Earth Imbue, but the boss dispels. So it was quite good to have Earth elemental weapons on that situation, so then I don't have to worry about imbues. Now, of course, Noel can't imbue Earth, but just able to select many weapons that you could use. You could equip Eileen's TMR is a good option if you wanted to do Earth and Dark Visions. So yeah. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think. If you watched all the way through, type in hashtag Noel, and let me know if you guys are going to pull for them, or you're just going to skip and wait for the anniversary. I think that's also an option. I think that's what people are going to do. I think that's why they buffed them so much. And yeah, let me know if you guys think that they got enough love or they didn't get enough. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.